Drew was a completely healthy, normal teenager growing up. He was always happy and he always made sure we were all happy, but he was dying inside and we had no idea that he was doing that. He had decided to take his life. So he had a plan and he went to my parents' house. So he took all the medication and put it out 10 in a pile, and he called one of his best friends from Ball State, and bless her, she could tell that something wasn't right and called 911, and from there they got in there and got him to the hospital. As parents, we took that on, like, what didn't we do? What didn't we see? Why is he like this? And to hear the psychiatrist come out of his room and said he's sorry, and I said, I know he told me he's sorry, and she said, no, he's not sorry. He's sorry it didn't work. And that was just like your entire being just crumbles again, that you just don't even know what to do. You don't know where to turn, what to do. To know that he'd been thinking about it, and he later had told us that he knew in a year in advance that he had been thinking about it, and not once did we ever have one clue. And even when I look back, I can't even think of one thing that made me think he's depressed. It hurts me for them, and it hurts because it's not what anybody else has done. It's their own sickness, and it's something that we have to just be aware of. It was probably about a year out, and I could finally go to sleep at night, and I felt good, and I felt like he was good, and I got another phone call just like that in the middle of the night, and he called me that time, and he said, I just did something really stupid, and I just took this whole bottle of pills, and I need help. And so of course I got his roommates up, and they got him to the hospital, and we drove from Rushville to Bloomington. Every single time, it's just the whole thing all over again. And as much as I've learned, and as much as I've read and learned and talked and reached out, it's just like the very first time all over again. And what haven't I done again? And okay, Stacy, this isn't you. Remember that. We've got to figure out how to get him through this. And his friends have gotten me through. I mean, I just thank God for them, because they have truly been a blessing. You know, that communication with them is very open. Don't hide it. That was another big thing, and that was when, the first attempt, I don't think I probably left my house publicly for at least a year, because I did not want to talk about it. I didn't want to, I couldn't without crying. To come out and say, we don't have to be afraid. We can get help. We don't have to be ashamed of feeling this way. Hope is all I have most of the time, and sometimes I feel like I'm falling apart, and other times I feel like I can change the world. But it's just, you live it and you don't give up, and you fight and you keep fighting until they know you're not going anywhere. And I know that Drew knows that. He knows that whatever it is, it's never too dark that we can't get through it. We can do it together, and that's where we are right now.